What's up, vinyl community? It's your boy Chris, coming at you live as always from the man cave. Cheers to you all. Hope you're all having a great Monday. Got an idea for a video a minute ago while I was looking at a beautiful center label on one of my Impulse Records releases, and was thinking, man, what a beautiful label. And I'm one of those ones that's always drawn to center labels on records. And then of course, you know, there's always just a lot of labels that you know that, like, I don't know this artist, but they're on this label. It's got this label on it. It's got to be good. There's no way in hell that this gorgeous label goes on an album that's shitty. Like, you just know. Like, if you see a release, if it's a Blue Note, it's awesome. Impulse, it's awesome. I mean, you know, on down the line, you just know. And so I'm always been really drawn to the center labels on vinyl records, along, you know, many other things, you know, artwork, whatnot. There's always been plenty. But I got an idea just now, sitting there looking at it, to show you guys my top 5. And I had to really think about this for a few minutes. My top 5 favorite center labels. Not the record labels, the center labels on the wax itself. Because so many of these labels are, you know, among many other things, known for those gorgeous center labels. And a couple of these are probably going to surprise you because they're really simple. And then a couple of these are, you watch my videos, it's not going to surprise you at all. So, decided to go 5 to 1 real fast. And I'm going to start off with Stax. Center record label, the center label on a Stax Records release. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's a really simple yellow label. But, you know, you got the stack of wax right there above the stacks, which, of course, as we all know today, is a really inappropriate way to store your vinyl. But I digress. I'm not going to be that guy on one of these videos. But it's not just that so much as, you know, the history that goes with stacks. You know about Otis Redding and Carla Thomas. And you know, which, by the way, that's the album I decided to pick as my original stereo pressing of Otis Redding and Carla Thomas, King and Queen. Phenomenal record. Got that bad boy for $12 a few years ago. But it's not so much the label itself, because the label's, you know, relatively simple. It's just a yellow label, some writing on it, and a stack of records. But it's not so much that, it's that you know that when you see that label, you know damn and good well you're getting yourself a great album or a great song. And so, you gotta love it. Number 4 for me. I think a lot of you guys will get this one. You'll understand that. Sun Records center labels. They're gorgeous. I'm very fond of all of them. I love them very much. And again, it's not so much just for the center labels themselves. It's just, man, you know when you're getting Sun Records, you know you are getting quality music. You know you are getting, especially, you know, rockabilly from this age and in country and whatnot at its absolute best. And Johnny Cash was on Sun Records. Elvis Presley was on Sun Records. Jerry Lee Lewis was on Sun Records. You don't have to go too many names. I just say Sun Records and you automatically know what I'm talking about. And this, of course, the album that I chose and to show you guys this label from is Johnny Cash's Sings the Songs That Made Him Famous. A handful of a bunch of Sun releases. I just decided to grab that one. If you go to the Johnny Cash Museum in beautiful Nashville, Tennessee, one of my favorite cities that I've visited in this country. I love it a lot because I love the music. I love the restaurants. I love the vibe. Everywhere you go, there's something to get into. It's awesome. But if you go to the Johnny Cash Museum, there's a spot where they've got like all of his records hanging up on the wall, and you look and you see all the Sun labels and all the beautiful Columbia labels and Capitol, and it's just, it's really cool, especially for a vinyl nerd. And so I really dug that spot. They got like all the 45s are up there and all the 33s, and it's Johnny Cash. He made an ass of them, guys. There's a bunch of them. So, I see a Sun label, I automatically know I'm getting good music. That's just all there is to it. Number 3 for me Impulse. Man, I love the Impulse labels. And if I was doing this video just based on album jackets, this label would be taking the #1 spot. Look at that beauty. That just screams great record. There's just something about it. The word Impulse, and I've always loved how they chose the lowercase I on the Impulse. For some reason, I've always just loved that and felt it appropriate. It's the lowercase I, but with the exclamation point at the end. As almost if to say, okay, we're going to start out like we're not a big deal, and then bam, there's your exclamation point. Now throw this bastard on the table and tell me you don't love it. And then go to your record store and buy every Impulse release ever. Which a current goal that I'm on right now, and it's going to take years. This is not something that I'm going to accomplish in a year or so. This is something that's going to take me years. It might take me the rest of my life to accomplish. But a current goal of mine is to have every Impulse release ever. So the album that I chose to show to you guys, show that label to, is an original stereo pressing of Charlie Mingus's The Black Saint and The Sinner Lady, which is one of my all-time favorite albums. And again, nobody does album jackets or gatefolds like Impulse. I mean, the new wave of folk is on Impulse. Ethnic folk dance music. It's, man, there's just so hip. So much thought was obviously put into it. And for you guys who maybe know a little bit about Impulse, or maybe just, think the center labels are cool, or maybe you just think the center label I just showed you was cool, or maybe you just know who John Coltrane is. I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to do it now. Give me 1 second. I highly recommend this book. I went for it because I knew it was quick to get to. I'm reading it for the second time currently. It's Ashley Kahn's The House That Train Built. It is a phenomenal read. I highly recommend it. I had read it before. I had borrowed it from a friend, and then I got it this past Christmas as a gift. So I own it. And I went back and read it again, obviously. On the cover, you see you got all those epic spines from Impulse. And again, if I was doing it on spines, Impulse would be #1. They basically just check the book and everything in terms of presentation. For their top 5 center labels, they're #1 spines for me, they're #1 gatefolds for me. So just on presentation alone, they've got you. And then you throw it on the platter and it blows your freaking mind. It's amazing. Some real geniuses behind that label, especially from the very beginning. A guy like Creed Taylor. But I highly recommend it. Get yourself a copy once again. Ashley Kahn, The House That Train Built. Phenomenal read. Again, I'm reading it for the second time now. It's amazing. And it's, called The House That Train Built because that's the nickname that Impulse Records got given, obviously, from all of John Coltrane's monumental Impulse releases. But it's about way more than Train. They go in depth and about damn near certainly every important Impulse release. Highly recommend it, you guys. #2 for my center labels. Columbia, specifically these 6 eyes. Because Columbia had many different variants. It had the basically plain red and everything like that. Those are pretty boring. And every time I see one, I think to myself, damn, I wish that was the 6 eye. That Columbia 6 eye is a thing of pure beauty. And again, when you see it, you're seeing a great record. So many artists from so many genres were on Columbia Records. Everybody knows what Columbia Records is. Everybody. The album I chose to show you guys for the Columbia labels, Miles Davis's Kind of Blue. Maybe you've heard of it. Maybe. If not, it's from this very underrated artist named Miles Davis. And it's got a childhood friend of his, another very underrated an unknown artist named John. All right, I'm going to stop now. You guys know the freaking record. You know the guys on it. It's only possibly the greatest jazz lineup ever put on record. Miles Davis, Cannonball, Paul Chambers, James Cobb, John Coltrane, Bill Evans, and Wynton Kelly. It doesn't get too much better than that, guys. It just don't. Forget my little sarcastic side story. And #1 for me, all time, greatest label, Greatest center label on an album. You guys know where I'm going with it. Obviously, you guys know how much I show this. Nothing better than that Blue Note center label for me. It is, there's beauty in its simplicity, but for me, what's not so great about it is not so much the label itself, which again is stunning in every way, shape, and form. It's not just that, but you know when you see that label, you know you're about to hear something epic. And how often in life do we see something and it delivers beyond our expectations? And I'm not just talking about on music, I'm just talking about everything in life, whether, you know, anything at all. But you see this and it delivers. It's always awesome. It doesn't matter if you've ever heard of the artist or anybody who ever played on the record. You see this label, you know you're getting ready to hear some awesome stuff. Only the greatest jazz musicians ever recorded for this label, guys. Miles Davis spent some time on Blue Note. Thelonious Monk was on Blue Note. John Coltrane's got one album, epic, Blue Train on Blue Note. Hank Mobley was on Blue Note. Kenny Dorham was on Blue Note. Man. It doesn't get any better than Blue Note from me. In terms of not only the center label, but for the quality of the music. You're never disappointed. I've never been disappointed in a Blue Note Records release, ever. I can't think of one that I ever threw on, and when it was over, I was like, let me just give this to somebody now. Really don't like it. It never disappoints, ever. So, again, this is my second video of the day. Had some time on my hands. I just got that idea 30 minutes ago and just decided to run with it. It's usually how I do mine. I don't really schedule anything out. Hope you guys enjoyed it. A lot of you probably thought at least a few of the decisions were predictable, and that's okay. I don't mind being kind of predictable sometimes. Until next time, until next video, which, shit, I've got more time. Could be today. I don't know. I might sit down in a minute, another idea might pop in my head, and I might decide to run with it, so we'll see. But until next time, until next video, keep dropping that needle, you guys.